Oh, man. Couldn't you just send the text? Oh, my gosh. All right. What you want? I was busy. I was trying to do trying to expand my horizons. Man, and this group of people is so selfish. Y'all don't want me to do nothing but investing videos. Look, I'm trying to do some other things. Oh my goodness, that was rough. But anyway, you summoned me and I'm here. Let's talk some stocks. Let's go. What's going on? It's your main man, Rick the Dawn. Hey, but today I'm Ritchie Rich. All right, folks, you know what time it is. It is time to get to some business. Thinking cap, please. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. This episode is brought to you by wordy.com. Go and check it out. You can also listen to this episode on the Becoming Ritchie Rich podcast, available everywhere. Go check it out. What you waiting for? All right, folks, here we go. We're going to go ahead and use wordy.com. This episode is brought to you by wordy.com. And if you can't already tell, we're doing something a little different this time around. All right, this time we'll be actually looking at a gigantic company. All right, usually on this channel, if you don't know already, I typically look at smaller companies, penny stocks to be exact. And in this case, we're going to do something I've never done before, which is analyze a bigger company that's worth billions of dollars. Let's see what happens. I have no idea where this episode is going to go. All right, but here we go. If you're just in and you want to leave after a few moments, let's just take a look. All right, right now, this stock is trading at 102. I'm so used to penny stocks. I was about to say $1.02. $102.6. And if we look back, it was trading a little higher. And this all took place was at October 24th. And looks like it's come down just a little bit. It had a nice fall, come back up. Fall, come back up. One thing that stands out to me is that these waves are a lot more aggressive, a lot more sturdier than what I'm traditionally used to seeing. And there are some peaks and valleys. So even though this company is worth a lot of money and the average stock price is a little higher, there's still opportunities to make money. So when it drops, you get in, you sell here, it drops, you get in, you sell here. It drops, you get in. And I would argue that in just a moment, based on the trajectory and the pattern, at some point it's going to peak and go higher than where it is currently trading at $102.60. I think at some point it should rise to either $112 or $120 again. So I think that's your room for money making right there. Okay. But in terms of what I invest in, of course, I wouldn't. However, if I invested in tried and true companies, would I invest in it? Absolutely. Why? Because it's so stable. It's stable in this area right here. All right. This is where all the stability is. So I would say at any point in history that this stock is trading under $101.58, I would get in. All right. Would I get in right now? No, because I know that it could bottom out at some point. And when it bottoms out, it'll probably fall somewhere right here in the $85 range. So if you see Amazon, and I guess I'm speaking to myself as well. If I ever see Amazon trading under $100, I'm getting in because it's so comfortable above $100. So yeah, I would say I'm going to wait until it goes under $100 and I'm jumping in with both feet, all 3 feet, all 4 feet. But anyway, here we go, folks. Let's keep it moving. Now, if you're just here for that, have a good day. If you want to actually stick around and watch me go through this thing and stumble over my own feet, trying to figure out how the heck to analyze a company this big, let's stick around. First off, let's take a look at some very obvious things. Look at this. This is ridiculous. Market cap is $1.05 trillion. What does that even mean? All right. Now, if you've watched any of my other episodes, I look at penny stocks. I couldn't even fathom. What is that? All right. The revenue is $513.98 billion. What is that? I've never even heard of that before. All right. This is insanely crazy. Okay. But yeah, let's keep looking. I'm just confused right now, if you can't tell. All right. Here it is. Amazon.com engages in the retail sale of consumer products. Don't I know? I mean, I get an Amazon package every day. I'm not even joking. All right. Products and subscriptions through online and physical stores in North America and internationally. The company operates through 3 segments: North America, international, and Amazon Web Services. Its products offered through a store include merchandise and content purchase resale. So I love this because now it's showing me what the other penny stocks should look like when their descriptions are read. It shouldn't be confusing. Like, I can understand what Amazon does, and not only that, I can see what Amazon does because I engage in what Amazon does. So I think this is the big difference between the stocks that I typically look at, where I'm like, I've never even heard of this company, and this company, which I actually invest in every day, whether I want to or not. So there you have it. Look at the amount of employees. This is like insanely, this is crazy. All right, what is that? 1.5 million employees? Like, goodness gracious. And the industry is diversified, retail, obviously. All right, yeah, I'm really digging what I'm seeing. Here are the board of directors and things like that. Jeff Bezos, the founder. I love it. Just want to see his name. Just had to see his name, y'all. All right. And as far as financials, I haven't really paid attention to their financials because I don't have to, but I'm pretty sure they're doing well. Let's see. They reported earnings result for the fourth quarter and full year ended December 31st. Obviously, for the fourth quarter, the company reported revenue was 149. Wow. Okay. So basically, 149,204,000 compared to 137,412. Goodness gracious, this number is so big. I'm not even used to seeing these numbers. Like, I'm used to reading penny stock stuff. All right, net income was 278 million compared to 14 million. All right, these numbers are just, my brain has to adjust. Like, you're literally watching my brain adjust on the fly. I have to, like, I'm so used to like looking at penny stocks. It's like my brain has to flip, and it's like, it's like everything is inverted. It's like I'm trying to adjust like on the fly. So don't laugh at me. I know how to count. I know how to count. All right, that's crazy though. And then the way they wrote the numbers is confusing. Like, this looks like seriously, don't this like 149,000? So I wish they would have put the entire number out. But I understand why they did it that way. 149,204,000. I can't even understand it because it's like the rest of the numbers not there. Let me see here. For the full year, revenue was 513,983,000. I'm assuming. All right, compared to USD, there was a net loss 2.7 million compared to a net income of 33. What is that? 33 million. It's so confusing to read it this way. I'm used to that. To me, that looks like 33,000 until you see the M. But anyway, I'm still looking. Let me see. Diluted loss per share from continuing operations was at 27 cents compared to diluted earnings per share from continuing operations, 3.24 a year ago. Is that a million? Is that a cent? I don't know. Anyway, come over here. The return on investment is 3.59%. So that is actually good. So that just means that if you get into this company, you stand to make some money. All right. Who's surprised by that? But I think the optimum space to get into this stock is under $100. I'm going to continue to repeat that sentiment because I really believe it. There is a lot of money here, obviously, but definitely even more if you can get in at a certain point. All right. So my favorite PE ratio is 25 right now. The industry is at 78.47. And as far as the company itself, it's negative 384. I have to figure out. I got to figure that out because that's not the number I'm typically going for, but that's because my brain, I work in the penny sector. But when you're looking at tried and true companies, I have to find my sweet spot there. So I can't necessarily hold the company at hostage because it doesn't meet my penny stock standards. So I have to actually do some research to become more of a tried and true investor mind. I have to adjust my mindset to understand what this company is telling me. So I don't really know. And I'm glad you're seeing me fumble because that's exactly what I did this episode for, to see you or let you see me fumble and try to figure this out on the fly, because I think that might be entertaining for some people. All right, as far as dividends, it's really surprising that Amazon doesn't offer dividends. They're doing so well. They make so much money. You would think they would offer their investors dividends. They don't. But that's their own call. And as far as revenue, this is a little bit easier for me because it's really clear for me. So 149 billion was their revenue. Their forecast was 145 billion, which means they're over their projections. I love it. I think it's pretty obvious that right now this company is still at an A+. I haven't seen any cause for pause yet. So, but let's keep looking. I want to look at the technical indicators. Moving average is strong buy on hourly trading. So if you're an hour trader or a daily, hour by hour trader, strong buy. If you do every 5 hours, if you're a day trader, strong buys across the board. I'm very surprised to see that on monthly trading, they actually have a strong sell. I did not expect that. I thought that Amazon would be a strong sell across the board, or at least a sell, or even a neutral. So they're saying monthly trading is a strong sell. And I think we know why, because we see what happens. It kind of has these peaks and valleys, and you just want to get in when it valleys. That's pretty much what it is. So it depends on when you get in, which determines how the stock treats you. If you get in at $1.10, I mean, 100. I gotta adjust, y'all. If you get in at $110, then you're not gonna make a lot of money here. I mean, especially with the stock price being that high, you got to get in when it's under $100. I stand by that. In fact, anytime I see Amazon trading under $100, I'm jumping in with both feet, and that's regardless of what I'm doing elsewhere. Okay, and as you look, you can see right now by trading at $102 per share, it's getting close to that entry point. Okay, it's getting very close. And let's take a look. Look at this, 43.8 million transactions. I told you I can count. It's just the numbers was I hate reading those things if you can't tell. It's so confusing how they write those. And you know what? As a saving grace, I know somebody is really like, can this guy read? I'm gonna tell you exactly why I had confusion. I'm gonna go back just for a second. I'm gonna do something I don't really do. Watch this. All right, tell me is it me or is it a conspiracy? Okay, I'm gonna show you exactly what I'm talking about, and I want sympathy after this. Okay, this thing, I don't know who writes these things, but I'm just telling you right now. Look at this right here. Okay, let me zoom in. Do you see this? There's no space after the period. Okay, and if you look over here, you can see what it's supposed to look like. So what I'm explaining to everybody is the way that these things are written is absolutely confusing. And, you know, my brain is tailored to reading professional papers, and so when I can't read, like, I don't understand, like, I'm trying to, this whole episode is a adjustment for me. All right, I want to now look at the historical data, okay, because that's going to be really important for the way that I invest. For this particular space or moment, the high is $104. That's really cool. That's pretty cool, but it's surprising. We know that the stock can balloon to $1.20 and higher. And then as far as averages, $98. That's surprising. I thought the average would be higher, but I thought the average would be 104. Believe it or not. So right now the stock seems to be on a downward trend, but I think that's exactly where it should be if you want to get some money. Once it goes below $100, it's money time. And you may have to hold for some time to actually see those gains, but you know you're going to make money if you buy the stock under $100. I think it's just that simple. The low is $88. Whoever got into the stock at $88 is sitting real pretty right now because they know what's going on. You get in at 88 or 90. I'll even say 90. You get in at 90 and you sell it at 120. That's your game right there. I don't know who disagrees with that. All right. Who disagrees with that? Please tell me in the comments. You get in at 90, you sell it at 120. It's happening like clockwork every single time. We saw the patterns ourselves. All right, as far as stock splits, there are 4 stock splits. Let me see here. Yeah, I remember the one that happened recently. That's the one I'm looking for. Yeah, this one right here, the one that happened on June 6, 2022. But their stock splits is different from a penny stock split. They're not stock splitting to try to get above $1 so that their company doesn't get removed from the exchange. Amazon does a stock split to make their stock price cheaper so that they can get new investors in. And that's a whole different ballgame. They're trying to get people in because if you're a penny stock investor like me, you're like, I'm not touching $120 per share. I'm not touching it. I'll buy in if it's 10 cents per share. But Amazon realizes that, so they do stock splits, reverse splits to bring that stock price down and allow new people to enter the boat and go for the ride. And that also helps the company in terms of revenue, market cap, all that. So it's like I said, different ball game. Now, looking at FinViz, we can quickly take a look and just see what's going on here. Nothing crazy that's moving the stock price. Usually FinViz has percentages on the side, or is that only as it relates to penny stocks? I couldn't tell you. All right, we see the wireless provider includes free Amazon Prime. Actually, I want to read this for my own, as a customer, I want to see what the news is. All right, the wireless provider includes free Amazon Prime. So some wireless company is bundling Amazon Prime with their services. That means Amazon is inundated with other companies. I love it. And inflation data, Disney layoffs, word about Elon's AI pause, the 15 best-selling products online. So that's definitely us right there. He's been there for nearly 10 years now. He's narrating your audiobook. That's kind of interesting. Not sure what that means. Get the best in class. So it just seems like Amazon is so diverse, and they're not in cell phones. They're not in bicycles. They're not in television. They're not in electronics. They're in everything. They're in life. And that is, my brain is starting to figure it out. That is the creme de la creme as it relates to being a company. Have your hands in everything. Don't put yourself in a neutral box. This is why Jeff Bezos can't lose, because even if, electronics has a bad year, he still has comic books. He's in everything. So there lies why, if you ever been frustrated with my channel about, hey, why is Rick doing video games? Why is Rick doing music? It's because I want to be inundated in everything. Okay. And that's my motto. Always diversify. Don't ever put yourself in a neutral basket, ever, because you stand to lose if that basket falls a plunder. Now, I want to go ahead and look at the short percentage float of this company just to see if there's anybody banking on Amazon to fail. Should I say just to see if anybody? I should say if any idiot is banking on Amazon to fail. Let's take a look. All right, the short percentage float is 0.63%. That's negative. Right, exactly. Now, please, I was going to say, who's sitting waiting on Amazon to fail? Maybe in 100 years. But right now, no, Amazon is hot fire right now. In terms of ratings, can anybody be surprised? A minus. From a short-term investment perspective, the company presents a deteriorated fundamental situation. The companies, we know that. I think if you're trying to get in Amazon and sell like day trading, you're going to fall on your face. I think you have to play the long game with Amazon, in particular, getting in at 90 cents, 95 cents. I mean, $90, $95, brain still trying to figure it out, and trading at $110, $120, something like that. I would like to see the weaknesses, though. This is very interesting. The company appears highly valued given the size of its balance sheet. Interesting. All right. The valuation of the company is particularly high. All right, we saw the same thing. For the past year, analysts have significantly revised downwards their profit estimates. So it sounds like a lot of analysts and investors and, media outlets are saying that the company doesn't appear as strong as some might think. If you're just like used to Amazon thriving, they're trying to poke holes in that theory and saying it's very possible that some things could be a little off rocker. Not that they're going to fail or fall down and go a plunder. It's just things are not as balanced and perfect as you might think at first glance. I wanted to look at some current reports just to see what's going on. We know for a fact Amazon is far from being delisted, so we don't have to worry about that, because this is not a penny stock. All right, we got the fourth quarter results. There were some amendments to articles, incorporation of or bylaws. This is something you want to read if you're investing in a company, for sure. You want to know all the particulars. A lot of times, investors don't really look at the reports, so they're investing blind. But when you look at the reports and actually read them, you actually find out what the company is doing. And that's certainly something that I like to do. Entry into a material definitive agreement, other events, entry into a material. All right. Departure of directors. So some people are leaving. So these are the kind of things I'm talking about. Why are people leaving? That's when you start to figure out those kind of ask those kind of questions. Next, I'm going to look at another space which analyzes the stock from a more narrative base. Here it is, trading at 33.3% below our estimates. Of course. We saw that they probably estimated high because it's Amazon, but we saw with our own eyes it's trading around the $100 mark. And we also saw that it tends to peak underneath that about 88, 85 cents. So it looks like they had some projections that might not be what we're seeing today. And if I was making the projections, I wouldn't be so surprised. I would say, hey, I'm definitely not placing the stock price in above $110. I'm not doing that. It seems to be more comfortable around the 110 mark, if there's any comfort at all, right? We can speak of it at all. All right, earnings forecast to grow 40.83% per year, and I absolutely believe that. I think that is incredibly accurate to state. I think that Amazon is far from growing. I should say far from peaking. I think Amazon has so much room to grow because people will not stop buying. It's not going to slow down. And I think because of that, this company has so much space to grow. All right, no risk detected. This is an absolute first. I've never seen a company that doesn't have a risk on this website. On this website, there's like a ton of things in terms of risk analysis for penny stocks and stuff like that. But when we're talking about a tried and true company like Amazon, there's nothing to even speak of. Insane, right? Now, taking a look here, I would like to go to StockTwist and look at the investors that are currently invested in Amazon. And this will allow us to see how they feel as investors and then make a decision whether or not we want to feel the same way. All right, so here we go. Look at this, 12 new Amazon posts since I opened this tab. So this company is always running. All right, if anyone can help share. Oh, wow, you got people just posting GoFundMe's on it. That's like a first. Like Amazon is such a popular company, even on StockTwist, that people just throw advertisements on it. All right, analyst price target for next week. Somebody's giving some early information there. Let's see here. Wow, somebody made a ton of cash. 200. Yeah, can I borrow some money, bro? Can I borrow a couple of dollars? All right, another way Amazon is planning on wrapping the stock value, element 6, the future is in the works. So it looks like, even though, and this is one of my biggest likes about Jeff Bezos, he doesn't rest on his laurels. He doesn't say, all right, I've achieved enough. He keeps pushing. And I think the most successful people in life just keep pushing upward. They never get content. It's $1 billion. He's a billionaire. He can literally go to sleep every day for the next, until he's gone, and it wouldn't matter a lick. He doesn't have to work. But as you can see, he's not even the person that's at the top of the food chain anymore. I think he stepped down, and he's still in the business. He's still in the game. He's still trying to find things to innovate. And, there lies my mindset. I'm always trying to innovate, trying to figure out what else I can do. What else can I try this? I'm not afraid of failing. And I think a lot of people are. I'm not. I like to fail. I think failing is the first step to greatness, because you have to fail. If there wasn't a such thing called failure, we would still be hopping on horses like, ha! We wouldn't have cars. Somebody had to have the idea and then have the fearlessness to fail in order to get us where we are right now. Failure is the first step to innovation. So I really love this about Jeff Bezos, and I can't state that enough. All right, started trading over 5 months ago. I lost $15,000. Now I've made over, exactly, because I'm not sure what the stock price entry was, but I'm going to guess that he got in pretty high, or I'll say somewhere in the middle. Right, it dropped, which it typically does, and then it skyrocketed to 100 something, 110 plus. So I'm going to be someone who shares a similar sentiment, because I'm telling you right now, I'm going to get into this company if it ever trades. If I ever see Amazon trading around the $85 mark, I'm getting in. All right, maybe even $90 mark, and it might be too late. I feel like this stock is going to keep going up. They're going to have to do another reverse split. That's what I'll probably say. I'll say if this stock ever does another reverse split, I'm jumping in. All right, because it's going to probably do a reverse split to get back to $100. And then it should take a little dip when it first opens. Maybe that first week or two, it should hit maybe the $80 mark or something like that. That's when I'm getting in. Okay, and I'm going to and this is the kind of company that once you get in, you just like set it and forget it. You come back 10 years later, you've made somewhere north of 10K, right? So that's what I'm thinking. And my last thing I would like to do is, right now the stock is trading at $102. So let's see. So stock price, $102.06. Here's my only issue, my only objection with this company. I use Robinhood, so there are no commissions. But this is my only objection. It's such a high entry mark that it might be difficult to earn or make any money off of it. Okay. So if you want to get in with 100 shares, it's still going to cost you $10,000. You see what I'm saying? So the entry mark is so high, which is why they might do reverse splits and things like that. You're not going to get in without really wanting to get in. $10,000 for 100 shares is up there. Now let's talk about what I'm accustomed to doing. All right, this is what I'm accustomed to doing. I'm used to getting in a company that's 10 cents, or let's keep everything the same. Just move the decimal. All right, this is the average place that I'm more comfortable at. All right, so to get in, it would cost me $10. You see what I'm saying? And if I were to sell, let's say it actually, what if you got into a penny stock at 10 cents a share and it ballooned to $115? How insane would that be? You would make 10 grand off of $10. Wow. So anyway, thank you for watching this. I think it's pretty clear. Man, I'm gonna go with A. I did see a few things that, like the balance sheets not being absolutely pristine. I did see things like that, but who are we kidding, man? Who are we kidding? All right, I'm going to drop this in the finance bucket. I'm going to press create, and this thing should go live. Remember, with wordy.com, anything that you type, it will be on the front page, just like what I just did. Use responsibly. You know what I'm saying? Well, no, I'm extremely happy to have taken a look at this, because I think what happens is you trade penny stocks for so long, you forget what a strong and undeterred company looks like. And I just saw it. And I think now I feel more comfortable going back into the penny stock sector